Your tequila first thing in the morning. Love
Liquid
it.
sunshine. It's my green juice. It is definitely not tequila.
Oh, that's
But,
okay. I'm just having like technical difficulties. Don't worry about me.
All right. Okay. Well,
Okay.
I'll do the intro while you
Yes.
without the tech difficulties. Good morning. You are watching the Wellness Movement. I am one of your hosts, Julie Brar, and welcome to Spanglish World and her network on Zingo TV channels 250 and 251. Please remember to download the Zingo TV app on the App Store, rate and leave a review. It's all free. Zingo TV is also available on Google Chromecast, Amazon Fire and Fire Sticks, Roku and Roku Sticks, on all smart TVs from 2016 forward. Boom.
Oh my gosh. You got like a whole bunch of stuff to say now.
I do. This is Kaz of Key Health and Wellness.
Hello. Hello. It's me. That's it. That's all you're getting.
You're looking for? I thought you were going to sing.
No, I was doing Adele. You were like, what, Lionel Richie? We're not on the same page at all today.
I'm sorry. What song were you singing? What
Adele. Hello, it's me. I was wondering if I don't know the rest of the words. That's the only word I know. I know you were totally like, Adele? Is that you? I get it. I get it all the time. Never once. Maybe from Adele's people that are like, please stop trying to sing her songs.
Could you cease and desist on you singing Adele music?
Yes.
Amazing.
They're like, stop butchering her song. Whatever.
We're seeing a decline in Adele sales.
Exactly. There's enough horribleness going on in the world. Stop trying to sing her songs. Whatever.
I love it. We're already off topic.
Of course. I'm still technically doing stuff. Talk amongst yourselves.
We can see up your nose. Thank you for that view.
You're welcome. You'll be able to see that I'm COVID free, I guess. Because, I have it on backwards. Hi everyone. I'm trying to just deal with it.
So today's topic, Kaz and I both celebrated a birthday. Hers was it last Thursday?
It was. It was indeed.
Last Thursday. Mine was this past Sunday. So we wanted to talk about getting old.
Whoa, getting old.
Hey, wait a minute. Before we get there, like, we're samesies. We're wearing the same color.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
We didn't even plan that.
We totally didn't. We didn't
finally
text each other the night before and go, hey, what are you wearing?
I know. Well, I mean, I always wear this because I start work immediately after this podcast. So I have to be in my little
client?
Shirt. This really awesome old chick. Maybe not that old. This young old person. I can't really comment anymore.
Yes.
I've graduated from my early years to middle age.
Well, age is just a number and it's mindset. Word to Big Bird.
I have to say the funniest thing. So I was recently informed that our age group is no longer allowed to do the middle part, which I always do. But this morning I woke up and my hair, I have to have a conversation with it every morning and be like, what do you want to do today? And then let it do its own thing, or else I'm fighting with it all day. So now I don't. If it wants to curl, then we curl. So this morning it wanted the side part. And I'm like, okay, we haven't done a side part in a long time, but we'll do it. And then I was informed someone of my age is not supposed to have a middle part anyways anymore.
Wow.
I don't know who the hair police are that have decided this. So I was asked if I was doing the side part because the mid part is no longer a thing. And no, that's not the case. I don't live by people's rules. My hair just was like, listen, we're doing a side part today. Deal with it. So that's what's happening.
Listen,
Yes.
I do not know who the hair police are. And let me just say, I'm not going to let them tell me where to part my hair. I'll part it wherever the heck I please. Thank you very much.
Right. Can you do like a part down here? So you do this crazy comb over. Oh my God. Imagine.
I don't know.
No, it would have to be a process.
Yeah. Speaking of hair.
Oh, yeah.
Look at
it's the shaved ones.
Yeah. They got to part like none other. They got to part with their hair. And there's your friend, Cocoa Puff.
Hi, Coco. You look thrilled. Her face. She's like, Mom, you did this to me.
I know. She was super mad at me yesterday, but
it must feel so good. You know, like when we come out of the winter blues and we shave your legs for the first time and you're like, whoa, it just feels amazing. That must be what it feels like for that.
I would
think.
Although
like a whole body shave. Oh, hello.
Although they do not enjoy going to get their hair cut. Like just outside the doors of the dog groomers, Coco put the brakes on full stop. So now I'm like dragging her to try to get her inside. I finally just had to bend over and pick her ass up. Imagine 3 dogs at the same time that none of them want to go in there. And it's like, oh my God, this is funny and sad.
That's my favorite thing. It's just like, no. And you're just like pulling them in and you're like, I swear they're loving it.
Yeah, I know. Anywho, so yeah, we're getting older. I want a funny story. Yeah. So I used to have this doctor when I lived in Vancouver, and he had a super dry sense of humor. And I had something going on. I can't remember what it was. I think at the time, my vitamin D levels were so low that the doctor just looked at me. He's like, I don't know how you're functioning. But anyway, when I went to see him, I said, you know what? I don't know if I'm just getting old or what it is, but I'm feeling really tired. And he looked at me deadpan and he's like, you are getting old. And I looked at him and I said, well, I know that, but you don't agree with me. Like, come on.
Right.
What's up with that? But anyway, just on the health side, you guys, make sure that in the wintertime, especially if you live in Canada, that you are supplementing vitamin D, because we do not get enough direct sunlight on our bare skin in the winter time. And so, I mean, in the summer, I don't take vitamin D, but in the winter, I definitely do, because vitamin D is one of those things you definitely need it for a lot of different things in your body. And if you don't have it, it's super dangerous. So then when I found out how low my vitamin D levels were at the time, I said to him, I said, aren't you impressed by how much I get done, even though like my vitamin D levels are almost 0? And he's like, no, that's not impressing me.
He sounds like a great doctor.
I know. Definitely. He just was, maybe bedside manners weren't his thing.
Yeah. I won't comment on doctors and bedside manners. I hear enough horror stories all day from my clients. So yeah.
So we celebrated another birthday. Last year for my birthday, I was in California. So
nice.
This year.
Well, usually we've kind of started a bit of a trend where we usually celebrate in Vegas, right? Like not on our actual birthdays, but a few weeks before, just because you and I and our brunette wolf pack partner in crime are away. And this year we could not. And we booked a spa day and then that got canceled. So I feel like this year's a mulligan and we don't actually have to turn any older because of COVID.
I agree with you.
So we just celebrate next year. So technically, I'm not old yet. This is a great morning.
Me neither.
I have a side part and I'm still young. Wow. I'm going to take the day off and celebrate.
No. Wait a minute.
You don't need your massage. Scratch that. Everyone needs a massage. Everyone should be booking in for a massage.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, it's very safe and very clean, and you just need it.
It's
you
great.
Really do.
Your place totally smells like chemicals. That's how I know it's safe.
It's pretty brutal. That's the downside, is that I try to mask it by burning a little bit of incense, but it's like when someone poops and then sprays air freshener, they're like, what? I don't know what you mean. It doesn't help. It doesn't mask it. You know what you're doing.
Well, I mean, if you go into a bathroom, chances are one of two things have happened. I mean, it's not a great mystery what happens in there.
It's true. It's true.
I love how we've diverged to poo.
Naturally. It's a fun topic. Everybody does it.
I know, but nobody likes to talk about it.
I know. I shouldn't say everybody does it, because I know some people who are like, it's been a week and a half. And I'm like,
yeah. If it's been a week and a half, that needs to not happen. Please.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's dangerous.
It really is.
Yeah.
But anyways, today is not the poo subject that we're talking about.
We'll talk about poo another day.
Yeah, we should do another poo topic.
Yeah.
It's very informative. And like you said, people don't want to talk about it, but they'll sure as heck listen, because they usually have at least one of the things we talk about going on.
We should talk about it next time we talk about this.
All right.
It's a date.
Done.
Okay. So I think on the subject of getting older, even though we did not get older this year,
we stayed the same.
We stayed the same. So I think to me, like, one of the things that I really noticed, like, I come from the film world, having worked as an actor, and that's a whole other story. But basically, in film and television, you are not allowed to age if you're a woman. If you're a man, it's okay. But if you're a woman, it's super not cool. So, like, if you look at movies, you'll often see gentlemen that are older, and say their 60s, having much younger co-stars.
Oh, I don't know that I've ever really noticed that, but now I'll look at it.
Probably not. Like, but anyway, yeah. So that's like the trend. And so it's like they'll have like co-stars that are 20 years younger, 25 years younger, maybe 30 years younger, but you don't see the reverse. Like, you don't see, name an older actress.
Susan Sarandon.
Okay, there you go. You do not see Susan Sarandon playing a lead with a co-star, 30 years younger than her as her love interest. So
that's true.
It's true. And also when I say name an older actress, like, what can we think of? 3 or 4? Judi Dench.
Right. Exactly.
It's because women in film are literally squeezed off the screen by a certain age. Like, usually by your late 30s and 40s, you see very few parts. And yet there's so much bias in film and television. And then what you'll see is, you'll see action films like with a bunch of dudes in their 60s and 70s. I mean, I've seen, like Bruce Willis and his whole pile.
I love Bruce Willis. Call me Bruce. Oh,
so weird.
Delicious.
Okay. Anyway, you'll see Bruce Willis and Arnold Schwarzenegger and guys of that generation doing an action film together. But you won't see a lot of women in that age bracket having those types of opportunities. So the message really is, I mean, especially to women who work in the film business, film and television, is that you're not supposed to get old. Like, you're not supposed to go past 30. And I used to jokingly say to my partner, I said, okay, well, I guess we're all supposed to go out back and be shot because we're not supposed to age.
Send you to the glue factory.
Yeah. It's really, really ridiculous, because it puts this whole pressure on women to have to maintain a youthful appearance despite everything.
Right.
And it doesn't put that same pressure on men. I mean, you can even look at, like, say, the news media, and you look at who's on television and how the women are presenting themselves a certain way, and yet the men don't have that same pressure. And that trickles down into society too, because then inevitably, we're visual creatures, and so we're drawn in by what is going on around us. And a lot of marketing and advertising is through commercials, through how this is why representation matters, because we do pick up cues from what we're seeing in the world around us. And when we don't see certain people represented, when we don't see certain age brackets represented, then we internalize that, and it influences our behavior. So there is sort of a dark underbelly to all of this. So
Absolutely. Yes, I mean, you can see it just on social media, the way girls are really, I mean, there's how many makeup tutorials on how to do everything to make you look younger, and the way you style your hair and all this stuff. And I don't see any of that from men. Shape your beard this way and look 50 years younger. Like nothing.
It's
nothing,
true.
Really. There's a couple, you have the kind of Rogaine-ish, grow some hair and women, I'll love you again type thing, which is not true. A Bruce Willis. Oh, so delicious. And he has no hair. So, and speaking of Bruce Willis, which I will always do if I ever can, he was in a great movie, Red, and Red 2, which has Helen Mirren.
Yes.
I think, is she like Lady Helen Mirren? Did she get, I don't know. Anyways, she's phenomenal. She's beautiful. And she's, I think, in her 70s. I think she is. And she's stunning.
She is, but
I saw you sneakily taking the picture where I'm like, as always. So you can post that picture.
I think I got one where you don't have your hand over your mouth.
Yes. That's fine.
I think she would be in her 70s. Yes. But I think what the shift that would be great if it happened is that if we celebrate each age, each decade, because I mean, let's face it, when we're teenagers, we're just learning, we're rebelling. When we're in our 20s, we're floundering around. 30s, you start to gain some knowledge and wisdom. And as you increase in decades, like that, the life experience, the lessons that you learn and hopefully apply in your life, those are really, really great things. And so I think rather than focusing on like age, like really focusing on what we've learned, how we can give back, how we can help others, how we can serve others, that like, especially older people like 60s, 70s, 80s, like there are cultures that really celebrate getting older. And in our culture, we do not celebrate it. And so we look at the older generation, we look down on them a little bit when we shouldn't, because they have so much knowledge and wisdom that they could share with us. And it's a shame, because it's like a huge resource that we kind of shove aside because we're so ageist.
It's true. It's very true. I remember, so I grew up, I was born and raised in England, as you know, and one of the most popular TV shows, long-running TV shows, was Coronation Street. And the thing I loved most about that show is that it was just regular, everyday people. No one was all dolled up like Days of Our Lives and Young and Restless, where everyone's in ball gowns and tiaras and their makeup is flawless and they wake up out of bed and they look stunning. These were like real people. And then when we moved here, everything was so the opposite. Like I said, like, because a lot of it's American TV that we have here, because there's not a lot really, maybe now, but in the 90s when I moved here, the TV was a lot of American shows, which are all like so highly, what's the word? Like made up and
well, style.
Everyone looks, yeah. So I think a lot of it is also culturally and what you're fed as sort of when you're growing up. Because any of the TV shows in England were just real. Like they weren't, you had people who were poor and some people that were criminals, and no one rolled out of bed looking immaculate. And that was real. You could relate to that. There wasn't these like unreal expectations that you had of, why do I look like this? And now we live in this age where there's filters on everything.
Oh yeah.
So
it's so funny. I went to do a live yesterday on Instagram, and I was scrolling through all the different filters, looking at what I would look like if I got some plastic surgery. Highly entertaining. And then in the end, I was like, no, I don't want to drop a filter on myself. I just want to like be myself as I do this live. But yeah, like a lot of people I see on social media, they're always filtering everything. You don't even know what they look like because they've got like big eyes, big lips, super smooth skin. And it's like, I love smooth skin as much as the next person, but there's it just looks surreal.
I've said this before, but I'll say it again. Being a massage therapist, I see all kinds of bodies. And the best part is that we're not the same, but we have a lot of similar features that no one really wants to talk about, like stretch marks and blemishes and unique, different skin things that go on, non-scary stuff, but just unique stuff. And so it's weird because we don't talk about it, and because we filter it out of our lives, that when we look down and go, oh, I have stretch marks, we think we're the only one ever. And that it's this hideous, scariest thing. But really, everyone has them.
It's
or
natural.
I shouldn't say everyone has them, but yeah, like so many people have them for whatever reason. And they're actually kind of cool. When you look at them, like some people have these like incredible patterns that go across. Like, yeah, when I look at it from my angle, I'm like, wow, like your skin's done this really cool thing. If that was on a painting, you'd be like, wow, that's really pretty. So it's just a different way of looking at things, but we're made to shun it or to, don't talk about it.
Well, I think that the thing also is like the classic way to get people to purchase things is to make them feel inadequate. You make them feel insecure about something, especially in terms of their physical appearance, whether it's their skin or stretch marks or whatever. You can market things to them, like,
yes.
So at the end of the day, it always comes down to money.
Absolutely. I know.
I mean, all this to say is that if you know that there are all these kind of underlying things that are going on, it's much easier to unplug from them. If you know that someone's just trying to market a wrinkle cream to you, then maybe it's not that you don't buy the anti-wrinkle cream, but maybe you just really think about it and go, okay, do I actually need this? And like, is it realistic for somebody in their 60s to have zero wrinkles?
Right. And I think also understanding the process of how wrinkles are formed and like what's going on a physiological aspect, because a lot of people think like, if I rub this into my skin, it will work. But the layer that you actually would need to work on will never get penetrated by that cream or that whatever. And it's not simple.
It could be a hydration issue. It could be like a number of other things.
Exactly.
Address. And oftentimes when people address those things, they'll find that their skin does look better and smooth out and have more radiance. So remember that outer layer, your skin, is a reflection of what's going inside your body. And so
Mhm.
that's where you want to start. You don't start from the outside in, you start from the inside out.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I don't know if we're getting our warning here.
Oh, I realize what time is it? I don't even know what's going on.
But I am.
That just breezed through. I feel like we just started.
I should finish the outro though. So this show can be heard on Spanglish Radio Network. Her network is a part of the Spanglish World Media Network. So you can check out spanglishworld.ca for all the news and programming. Spanglish World, watch it, hear it, read it, download it, and live it. So that's our show.
Good stuff.
We may or may not get to continue talking, but if we do completely disappear,